Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of RTHD. In this episode, I want to show you guys a comment that I got recently. And I thought I'd bring this to your attention because, again, based on what I said before, sometimes we get negative comments and sometimes I said previously that we have to, sometimes we have to defend ourselves and sometimes we don't. Well, I want to show you guys this comment, so stay tuned. Guys, so thanks for viewing. This is what the comment said. I'm going to post it up on the screen here. Hopefully it's going to come up there now. And this guy posted this and basically seemed to call me stupid because I put my T3 Mobvoi smartwatch into a little bit of water in a container, and he basically questioned whether I was stupid or not for doing it because the TicWatch E2 that is, it is able to withstand water up to, I believe it is ATM 5, which I believe is 5 meters or so. So it's pretty deep, right? And so he thought I was foolish for putting this thing in this small kit of water. Now, the funny thing is that in this world, you are always going to find someone who feels that they know more than you. And sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But the reason why I'm bringing this one to your attention is because of how ridiculous it becomes sometimes when a YouTuber just comes in and he looks at part of the video, or he doesn't understand what the video is all about, and then, basically trolls or bashes me or bashes any other YouTuber for that matter, because they didn't understand. Now, of course, they realized that they were super intelligent and super bright and, they know everything. So they could just call people stupid and they could call people idiots and so forth. But the funny thing about this one was that the guy didn't really understand. And I'm assuming it's a guy. He didn't understand some really, really simple concepts. And so I have to wonder what was going through inside here in the whole process of it. The whole intention of making that specific video was not to prove that the watch could actually work in an atmosphere 5 atmosphere. It wasn't intended to do that. It was intended to see whether it actually lives up to being waterproof. Now, if you know anything about the human being, a human being can actually swim deep into water if you can actually swim and you won't drown. But surprisingly, there might be another human being or even that same human being, if he falls into 3 inches of water, he could still drown. Now, what is the analogy there? The analogy is basically this. Sometimes you can have something saying that it could do X, Y, and Z, but only until you test it, you will know whether it works or not. And that was the whole point of putting or dunking that watch into the water, because I didn't know unless I tested it. And I'm not going to throw this thing in the deep necessarily, because the time it will take for me to take back out that watch, if I do see that there's a problem with it, to take it out of the water would be too long. I'd probably destroy the watch. So the only thing to do is to test it first in shallow water before you test it in deep water. Usually you don't just jump out into deep water if you can't swim. You test yourself first, in shallow water. Make sure you could handle yourself in shallow water, and then maybe try deeper water. So the funny thing again, guys, is a lesson is to be learned here. The lesson is, especially if you are a YouTuber watching and commenting, be very careful what you say before you say it, because you may not understand what's going on. And of course, in the world of social media and so forth, it's basically we could sit back behind a keyboard and say whatever we want about someone else. And a lot of the times I have actually thought whether this is a good thing or not. And I think sometimes, freedom of information is good, but bashing someone or, insulting them for something you don't understand is not really cool. So, that's just something that I wanted to share with you. I thought it was actually funny as well, too. And of course, years ago, it would have worked me up, but it didn't really work me up this time because, again, we have to be careful of the information that we have. And we also have to know that sometimes we could be wrong. So with that being said, that poor guy who, said that, poor thing, he didn't, think about it, or maybe he didn't spend enough time thinking about what the idea of the video was. And so, he ended up being, rude about it and so forth. Well, guys, I hope that gives you a little bit of, encouragement as well, too, because sometimes we go through life with those things. So So with those type of things happening, those, incidences, and sometimes you just have to make them aware of, the fact that they have to think twice before doing that. And so I decided to do that video, this video, just to sort of set the record straight and to also set, I guess, some people straight as well, to who may see this video and who have probably commented very badly to other YouTube content creators out there, to think twice before just acting out, because sometimes you can act out without knowing the whole situation, and then instead of calling someone stupid, you might end up being the stupid one. Anyways, guys, with that being said, stay tuned to more RTHD coming to a YouTube screen near you. Thanks so much for viewing. Please like and subscribe. Hit me down in the comments below. Don't literally hit me. I mean, let me know what you think in the comments below. Hopefully, you won't get a sarcastic response from me. I'll try not to give any sarcastic responses. Especially if it makes sense, definitely won't get any sarcastic responses. The only time I somewhat maybe slightly, I'm trying not to be sarcastic actually, I'm just trying to be really, really honest, and I might respond back with something honest. But for the majority of people that post, they post really good stuff. So I want to say thanks so much to those of you who post, who support, and who post, good stuff or question stuff, and I can really answer it before you just judge me. And so with that being said, guys, thanks again. See you guys again soon. Bye.